right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the things you should be aware of before you go to your shop to pick up your books this week. Hopefully, you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you hit that alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. And with that, we will start it off with the top of the stack. These are my top of the pile books. First books I can't wait to get a hold of to read this upcoming Wednesday once I get my new comic books. And despite the fact that there is a slowing down of some of these new indies, the last several weeks we've seen a new indie #1 get super hot right out of the gate. What's been going on with the #2s? Well, Dork #2 had a decent amount of interest in it when it came out. It doesn't seem like there's the same kind of push behind White Sky this week, as plenty of copies are available, cover price or less, if you want to buy it. Regardless, I enjoyed the first issue, so I'm looking forward to reading the second issue. I mean, speculation aside, I just want to read this thing. So I'm a little surprised that maybe, the prices aren't where I would expect to match how hot that first book was. Like, where did everybody go? Hopefully they're still picking this up to read it because, like I said, so far so good as far as the story goes. So we'll see how this does long term, but perhaps, FOC will allow people to catch up on their orders. I don't know. But this issue, not doing too much on the pre-sale market, if you will, before release this Wednesday. But 2 covers on this thing. I like the cover A just fine, but there is a B cover here as well if you want to go with that. So I'm probably just going to get the A and be good with that. Also, this week, I was thoroughly impressed with the first issue, so I'm looking forward to the second issue of The Punisher. I'm not usually a big Punisher reader or Punisher fan, but I like the first story. I'm interested in seeing, how ruthless Jigsaw is going to be here. So I'm kind of into this. So we got Jigsaw, Punisher, classic stuff. I'm looking forward to reading some more. Cover A is probably fine, but there are a lot of options here. We've got a B cover, which is one of those Marvel Comics Presents where it shows the character reading another comic book. In this case, Frank's reading Daredevil. That's kind of fun. Outside of this, we do have a design cover for the Rivals look, where it's a more mecha armored up Punisher version. And then we do have a Simone DeMeo, which is kind of cool because I do like DeMeo's almost anime-ish kind of art. I like it. And then there is also a 1-to-25 incentive here as well, if you want to go with the incentive. The last thing that I would say is on the top of my pile, and it's going to be something. I'm not even completely sure which covers I'm going to choose. I know I got a couple, but Superman Spider-Man is coming out this week. So much like Deadpool Batman before it, expect a lot of sales and a lot of covers because there are a lot. Now, will we see any of these jump out ahead of the rest? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to take a look as the week goes on, see if there's like one cover above the rest that people decide to gravitate towards and call it under-ordered or hard to find. We'll see if any of that occurs here, but there are a lot of covers for this book. And yes, it's look at that setup. There's a lot of setup for this 72-page book. It is $8 coming out of the gate, but there's a whole alphabet's worth of covers. So with that, buckle up. We've got a lot to go through. Here we go. We got that first cover A, which you saw. We also have a cover B done by Jim Lee. There is a foil edition of that cover A done by Dan Mora, as well as a blank sketch edition. Now, from here, I'm not going to run through all the artists because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. So we're just going to go through it as quickly as we can so we don't spend the whole show talking about Superman, Spider-Man, because yes, there are like 26 different covers. Not exaggerating. Here we go. Here's a pair right here, one of which Clayton Crane. This one, we got Jimmy Olsen with Carnage there. That's kind of fun. And I think this is Oliver Coipel? If that's how we say his name. We've got a Delato coming up here. That's, not too bad. So we got the black suit Spider-Man, black suit Superman. That's kind of fun pairing the two together because as you've noticed, a lot of these covers are going to be Superman and Spider-Man. Others are going to be other versions of said characters. Like this, we have Adam Hughes giving us Spider-Woman and Supergirl. Meanwhile, we do have another Spider-Man, Superman over on the other side, but this time they mix in Lex and Green Goblin, which is kind of fun. We can move on to the Red Sun Superman and Spider-Hulk squaring off. Art Adams giving us a cover here with a classic Superman with that old school action look, as well as a classic Spidey with the web pits. And yeah, we're only halfway through. So if you're already exhausted by this, don't worry. We'll get through it. We've got some more. Let's kick it off with some books that everybody's probably going to be jumping towards. J. Scott Campbell is going to sell. Artgerm, it's going to sell well because, hey, they have their fans, and these books are going to sell. And they're not bad. The covers aren't bad. So with that, I expect these to be ones that people look for when they go out shopping for this book. I personally like the Middleton quite a bit here. We got Superman punching through the wall, so that one's kind of fun. And then we do have a wraparound over here, so we'll take a look at the wraparound cover as well. You got a bunch of characters all mixing it up. That one's kind of interesting. Nakayama is giving us a one of his color bleed versions here with a lot of blue, and then we got Superboy Prime facing off against a symbiote Spider-Man. We've got an homage to the classic face-off of the two in that Treasury size edition there. We get to the point where we have Superman's little flying ship from Superpowers going against the Spider-Mobile. So yeah, let's mix in their weird vehicles while we're at it. Then we also got Superboy and Spider-Punk over here, as well as a Talaski, which is really nice with Power Girl and Black Cat. Also one I expect a lot of people to be looking for when they go out shopping. It's also one of my favorites. Chrissy Zulo giving us Spider-Ham and Crypto over here. And then we do have another wraparound edition. So let's take a look at this one here. As we see the whole image, you got Spider-Man and Soups. It's pretty cool. And that is all of them. Yeah, so I think we did pretty well going through all 26, but a lot of covers. And who knows which is going to be one of the ones to jump out. Surprisingly, I didn't see any like really clear there was the homage to the original Treasury Edition one, but outside of that, I didn't notice any other homages that might grip the market like we did with Deadpool and Batman and the Hulk 340. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this time out. But from here, let's get into my blind pick. So these are going to be the picks of books that I'm really looking forward to giving a try. No prior knowledge here, no early access or anything like that. I'm just basing it off of the creative team and the setup, and they both sound pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to giving both of these books a try, and they are both indie books. And don't worry. No, like I said, no indie books are jumping out of the gate like we've seen the last several weeks. So you should be able to pick these up if you are interested, hopefully. The first one being Honor and Curse. So I'm all in samurai stuff. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima like almost every day whenever I have time to play. That's where I've been spending a lot of my free time when I'm not doing this stuff. So yeah, samurais, I'm all for it. And I like the first series. There was an earlier run that came out like a while ago from Mad Cave. So I like that edition. So I'm looking forward to more. So Honor and Curse, couple of covers here. We got a cover A. There is a pretty solid cover B, as well as a third option here with a cover C. I think Mad Cave, the store, also has a special cover, too, that you can only get through Mad Cave store. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go take a look at Mad Cave's direct shop. So always take a look at publishers. Publishers, their direct stores often have books that you might not see released over on your shelves because they have their own exclusive editions. But you also might be able to find books that appear to be sold out everywhere else. You just get them straight from the publisher. So go check out their shops, too. Now, with that said, the other book that I'm looking forward to giving a try this week is Rafael Garcia, Henchman, which just seems kind of like a silly, kind of fun setup. It's given me Venture Brother kind of vibes with, the Monarchs, Henchman, you got 21 and whatnot. That's the kind of vibe I'm hoping this is going to be and what I'm looking forward to reading. Is it kind of set up that with the little synopsis here as supervillain organization, James Bond. What if it was like working at Walmart, like the way that the setup is. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. And this is not a new book. There was a prior edition from another publisher a few years ago, but we'll see what we get here with this volume 2. I don't know if it's going to be a complete redo of the original book or if this is new material, but I'm looking forward to it because I didn't read the original, which I think was out of like a Shipyard Press. I don't know, some smaller publisher. I don't even remember the title right off the top of my head. But Henchman here coming out this week with a cover A. You've got a cover B, which is pretty cool. And I think this cover was actually used on the prior volume, and there was only 2 issues on the second issue. So I think this cover art is being at least reused. And then there was also a Virgin edition, as well as a polybag, black bagged, not suitable for work by Dan Mendoza. I covered up the bits that I thought, they were already covered up, but still covered them up for posterity's sake. So yeah, I like getting the black bag edition. Yeah, I do. So I got to get one of those, and I got to cover A, and I'm going to be good. So with that, those are the books, the blind picks for the week from me. Outside of that, let's take a look at what I need to give you a heads up on before you go to your shop. Sometimes we get some thank you editions or some one per stores or some big news or something that's jumping out of the gate like real hot, etc. But this week, I got nothing for you, actually. There's nothing that I can think of to report as far as early heat or secret things or ash cans or anything like that. So yeah, sorry for heads up. I got nothing. Sorry. But what I do have for you is if you do need supplies, I got a code for you. Use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order over at BCW. You need to go buy your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, CGC boxes, your top loaders for your comics or your cards, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You got to buy supplies. You hate spending money on that stuff, so you might as well save some money while you do it. Use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose by doing so. So with that, let's keep the list rolling and let's check it out publisher by publisher, starting over at DC with the Absolute corner of the DC universe with the Absolute universe. So who do we have here this week? We've got 2 titles coming out from the Absolute line of books. Starting off first with Martian Manhunter, which is coming near its close. I think it's wrapping up with issue 12. So here we have issue 10. So for more Absolute universe goodness, we got a cover A, we got a cover B, and then we've got 2 more options for you. No variants to speak of, so pick whichever one you like best and run with that. I'm just going to go with the A and save the dollar because all of the variants have that thicker cardstock, extra dollar on the cover price. They're $5.99 as opposed to $4.99. I'm good for $4.99. Same kind of deal here. I'm actually good with the $4.99 cover A on Absolute Wonder Woman, which again, still a good read. We got Absolute Satana running in here, and there are really good cover options apart from this, but I can't say one stands out from the rest, so I might as well just save the buck and just go with the A. So we do have a Dodson here, which ain't bad, and then we do have these other ones over here as well. I do like them, but I just can't. Don't say I need them, if that makes sense. So I'm fine just getting the A. With that, those are the Absolute books for this week. So let's get to the regular DC universe and see what we got here with a lot of titles still starting up, new storylines and new directions, new teams, etc. So with that, what do we got? We've got Detective Comics. Starting off, Gotham's new Trinity starts here. You got Green Arrow, you got Black Canary, you got Batman. Cool. Issue 1107. I read Detective, or I pick up Detective. I'm a little behind on reading it, but I do pick up Detective Comics, so I will be picking this one up as well, even though I am kind of interested in this trio, this Trinity here. I think this could be a fun little run. So let's see where we go with these 3. We've got cover A, you got a cover B over here. There's that corner box as well as the logo. I really like the C cover here, and I think I will be paying the extra buck to get that one because I like the sort of anime style of it, if you will. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to go pick that one up. Also, we have The Flash giving us flashes of insight start here. So cool. New direction for Flash. Issue 31 with multiple covers. A, B, you got a Brian Boland giving you that classic redo of Showcase 4. You got a logo cover. We've got the corner box variant and a foil version of that Boland, homage to Showcase 4. So cool. We also got Green Lantern coming out this week, and this is technically a Legacy Milestone Edition, issue 600, even though it's 33 of the current run. Legacy 600. Since it's a Legacy issue and issue 600, I'm going to check it out. I haven't been reading Green Lantern of late. I am a Green Lantern fan, as you can tell. I got this light up here behind me, but I just haven't been reading it consistently lately. But The Rise of Kyle Rayner starts here. Kyle taking over the book. All right, I'm kind of curious, and it's issue 600, so I will be giving this one a try. This is the cover A. We've got a Nakayama over here on this one, as well as I'm probably going to grab the David Aja because I like Aja's art. And then we do have a wraparound edition over here with a crap load of lanterns. So get that one if you like the jam covers with a ton of characters on it. And then we do have a glow-in-the-dark edition, as well as the corner box and the logo. Sorry if I'm putting the logos way down below, but just to kind of save space and save time, those logo covers are just, they are what they are. So they're down there. You got that one too. Harley. We also got Harley coming out with issue 60. The Silent Sentinel starts here. So new storyline starting for Harley with cover A. And we've got an Akiyama here as well. You can't go wrong with an Akiyama. We got a pretty cool homage to Batman here. And then we've got, I really like this sweet little cover with her and Poison Ivy. I think this is a nice one. I don't know. I dig it. I like the lighting. It's almost has like a play, kind of like they're on stage and they're about to break into song. I don't know. Then we do have the corner box and the logo editions here as well, because DC's doing this lately. And even though I normally break those kinds of things out in the separate segments, here I thought it was kind of pointless because, they're all right. But really, I'm just going to show you a whole bunch of logos and the corner box art. Well, it's already the tiny art on the cover A, like here, for instance, with Justice League Unlimited number 17. Yeah, you can see in the top corner, you got a little Dan Mora, Wonder Woman, and Red Tornado, and we'll see that a little bit later. But here's the cover A for Amnesty starting here. Again, new direction, new storylines, etc. This one's kind of fun. I like this Blue Beetle and and Booster Gold. I think that's kind of a fun cover. It gives you kind of a callback to the old era of Justice League with McGuire, etc. Anyway, that's a pretty fun cover. We also got a Bolin giving us Metamorpho. We got a Wonder Woman over here. And here's the corner box that I mentioned. Look, there you go. Dan Mora giving you a Wonder Woman and Red Tornado. And we have a nice, another little sweet cover with Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. I really like this one with them sitting out in space, just looking down on the planet. I think that's pretty cool. And then, yes, the logo cover right underneath me as well for Justice League. So if you want to get a logo cover, you can. Reign of the Superboys continues as we have another installment this week. So kind of running, weekly as new installments keep coming, kind of like Marvel with Death Spiral. The Reign of the Superboys is continuing here in Superman number 36, even though it says Superboy Prime Time starts here. So yeah, we're getting Superboy Prime back, and that's going to lead to maybe another crisis. We'll see. Anyway. Here we go. Dan Mora, pretty cool cover here on the cover A, but we've got plenty of other options as well. I think this is Juan Ferreira giving us this video game edition. I like these. I usually pick up all these, so I might be grabbing this one as well. It is a wraparound, him fighting Parasite. So you got Superboy Prime fighting Parasite. It's pretty cool. Street Fighter 2 sort of setup. We got the logo edition. We've got another wraparound here as well with some of these Superboys by Torrin Clark. And you can check that one out here in its full glory. There we go. That's kind of cool. And we still got the corner box as well as this other issue where you got Superboy Prime, which, in a meta sort of way, Superboy Prime is from a different DC universe, etc. Him reading Absolute Superman is kind of interesting, but we have that edition as well as another one with him reading this current issue that he is in. So there you go. Pretty meta as well. And then we do have another connecting cover here as well for this Reign of the Superboys event, which so far has been going up and down. So with that, here's how it connects with the prior three additions to this storyline here. So there we go, Superman 36, and then we'll run them as they stack. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Even though, again, that there's a little gap missing between the two, the first two, Action and the next one. There's like a little piece of art missing from the connection, but that's how they connect. That's how they run. We'll see if the rest of them keep going this way or if they're going to line up next to it and it's going to be like a bigger poster size image. I don't know. We'll see. I'm taking it week by week as they come. Try not to spoil it for myself. I know I could view it. I know all the information's out there, but I kind of like, doing this kind of off the cuff and react to it naturally as I sit here and do the show in one take. So with that, let's get to Vertigo next. So Vertigo, restarted. A lot of good stuff so far. I mean, not many titles. I think we've only got like 4 running, and I'm just not reading Nice House on the Lake. The other 3, I'm trying to keep up with, including this, which was the 4th release, and a long title in and of itself. The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane Mystery issue 2. So yeah, Noir, Phillips, I'm in. Cover A is fine. There is a B cover here as well as C, third option here too, which is black and white edition. But I'm fine just getting the cover A for $3.99, while the other one's only $4.99. Like I said, I'm fine saving a buck. You know, you save a buck where you can. And the one variant set I have pulled out separate for DC is the International Women's Day variant or the Women's History Month. I don't know if they've even decided which these go to. You'll see why in a minute, because here we go. So we've got another installment here with Harley, all done by Lyrics Lee, as far as the art goes. And that one has the International Women's Day logo on it. But then Justice League has a Women's History Month logo on it. I don't know if it's just the images that I've got online, and I don't know what the actual comic will look like come Wednesday, but I thought that was weird that all of a sudden we had the Women's History Month logo in there, because it's just, I don't know. Anyway, Justice League Unlimited 17 had another variant. Again, Lyrics Lee cover. Pretty cool. Now, that's all from DC. So let's move on over to Marvel and see what Marvel has in store for us this week, as they've got a lot. Yeah, it is the end of the month, last week of the month, so a lot of storylines and things like that wrapping up. But here we go. Continuing on, issue 3, Iron Man's new series. I'm in. I'm still in. Check this out. You got Madame Mask. You got MODOK showing up in this one. That's going to be kind of cool. So, yeah, here's the cover A. Not bad. Cover B, pretty solid as well. I like the dark with the light. Just kind of, it's a nice play, you know, with the shadows. But for my money, this MODOK is the one I'm going to get. So, yeah. Him ripping through the cover too on his first appearance is also a nice touch. Yeah, so I'm going to be grabbing that one. And then you also have the Scotty Young connecting cover set option here as well, which this is issue 3. So here are the other 2 issues before it, just in case you wanted to see how these roll together. Bang, bang, bang. I know I'm covering up the one, so let's shift them on over so you can see the whole thing. I'll continue to show it as they build that one out. But there you go, 3 so far on the Scotty Young. And there is also a 1 in 25 option here featuring Madame Mask. I'm also going to be pulling the Deadly Hands of Kunlun. Like I said, I like samurai stuff. I also like kung fu stuff. So give me more Iron Fist, which whoever the Iron Fist is going to be. And I'm Dragon versus the Serpent. Cool. Let's get into this. Issue 2 coming out this week. 1, 2 covers here. This one featuring Daredevil. And Daredevil is also coming out this week on Disney Plus. So Daredevil Born Again starting up on Tuesday. So keep that in mind as well. From here, that's it. So 2 covers on that one. And then we've got Dungeons of Doom issue 3 coming out here. So still kind of slow playing this wrap up to the whole Emperor Doom event. This Dungeons of Doom series is still rolling on. I'm not keeping up with it, but here we go with 3 covers. You got 1, you got 2 with Red Hulk losing it. And then we've got a third option, which is the 1 in 25. That is actually kind of cool. Very classic look to Doom there. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. Fantastic Four, First Foes, new miniseries, I think, starting here. So from the cinematic universe, we have this book. So we've got a cover A, we've got a B, and then we've got 2 more options here, one of which is the 1 in 25. So once again, pick which one you like, get the incentive if you like it. And this is the movie version of the team, because we also have the regular team coming with their next installment with Fantastic Four number 9, with Ramos giving us this 4th part to Invisible Woman. So this Invincible Woman story arc, where you have the old school Malice version of Sue Storm, kind of mixing it up with the team, I suppose. Again, I'm not reading this title, so I'm not keeping up with it. I will say some of these covers are pretty cool. You got a Just Go after Kirby there. That's pretty fun with the B cover. This one's just the angle of her neck is disconcerting, if you will, and I like it. Just saying. But yeah, so we got that option there, which is also the Virgin version. So if we take the trade dress and everything off, that's pretty cool. So it's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. But yeah, something about like that angle of the neck that adds a little unsettling bit to this cover. So I don't know. We're also getting the next issue of Godzilla Infinity War. I love Godzilla, but once again, I'm just exhausted with all these crossovers. Let me know if this one's any good. I mean, it could be good. I mean, now I'm looking at a Galactus and King Ghidorah. That could be fun to see how that play out. But yeah, maybe I do got to check this out just because it's probably the weird, wild story that you never would expect. But I don't know. Issue 2, a couple of covers there, and then we've got a third and a 1 in 25 option as well. I think that B cover might be the one though. Null coming out this week as well. So you got Null and Thanos issue 3. Art Adams giving us the 1 in 25 edition. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Looks like old school Thanos from the Infinity Gauntlet days. You know, I like it. We also have the end of the New Avengers. So ending this volume, this arc with issue 10, New Avengers is wrapping it up. We'll see if this team comes back. This sort of killer squad, if you will. But yeah, the Killuminati final battle, I guess, with the New Avengers. Wiccan also has the next issue of that. So Wiccan Witches Road, issue 4 coming out. You got a Lyrics Lee on the B. Pick that one up if you're interested. We're still rolling towards Armageddon. That's coming in June. Marvel's next event. And here's some more of the build this week. Captain America last week was building towards. The other build is coming from Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon by Zdarsky. So issue 2 here. Some cool covers. I don't know. We'll see. This one I'm on the fence about. I'm on the fence if I'm going to get this issue, but we'll see. Anyway, cover A. Cover B is not bad. And then we've got a really, this is partly why I'm on the fence, because I really like this Sanford Green cover. So that one, Wolverine fighting Nuke, I dig it. And I'll talk more about that at some point. But there is also the 1 in 50, which is the Virgin version of it. Also really cool. There's a 1 in 25 by Aaron Cooter. That's pretty good. So yeah, pick whichever cover you like. Death Spiral continues on this week as well as Spider-Man continues this event. I've been enjoying it so far. I haven't read last week's, I think it was Venom. So, or it was ASM 24, whatever the last installment was. I still got to read that, but I'll play catch up and read them both this week because ASM 25 is the installment with part 5 of 9 for Death Spiral. And like I said, this has been better than I thought it was going to be. So we'll see if it can stick the landing. But anyway, issue 25, multiple covers. Here's the cover A, the connecting cover, which I've been showing you those. This is the middle issue of the event and the middle issue of this huge 9-part poster. Here are the first 5. The next, one will go next, and then we'll get the bottom row, and I'll show you all those as we get them. But I'm still going to get the Bermejo in this. So the Amazing Visions, they've been giving these a run the last year or so, I want to say. It's been a while that we've been getting these Amazing Visions covers. And yeah, we got the Spider Clones, you got Jackal. Not my favorite era, but pretty cool cover nonetheless. So I'm going to probably be grabbing that one. There is another one of these classified Target covers showing who the target is next. And then we've got this other one here with the Spidey all wrapped up. Then we got a foil edition and a peach. So if you want those, you can get those. And then we also have a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50, which is a version of the peach. And then the 1 in 100 is a version of the Bermejo cover. So if you like that, go for that. Now, moving on over to the X corner of the Marvel Universe, all books X-Men. I like separating these out because I usually pick up all of them because I am OCD completionist and a fan of the X-Men. So, yeah, here we go. This week, we've got Generation X 23. Wolverine takes on the Generated. All right, so issue 2 of this current series. Coming out, a couple of covers. You got a Maria Wolf giving us a Laura Kinney B cover. Kind of cool. That is also the Virgin 1 in 50 to go with this Momoko option as well. Then we have Inglorious X-Force giving us issue 3 on this one. Spotlight here on Boom Boom as far as the storyline goes, as well as the covers. So here is her cover A. Cover B featuring, a little bit more of the Death Squad of Helverine and Archangel. But then the 1 in 25 brings it back to Boom Boom if you want to go that route. So Psylocke Ninja coming out with the next installment here. Again, I surprisingly like this series. I was going back and forth with the comments on I think one of my shorts today, but yeah, normally I don't like a storyline going back in time, retconning. Oh, by the way, this happened, years ago. But this Psylocke Ninja story, I kind of like it. And yet, I'm not really looking forward. The reason why I came up is I'm not really looking forward to Dan Slott's Brand New Day story that's coming. I know there's a whole hullabaloo around. Well, support the title, otherwise Marvel won't continue to whatever. I'm just not really into reading more Brand New Day of that era of Spider-Man. Okay, it happened 20 years ago. Let's leave it there. Like, I don't know. Anyway, this one I like. Maybe I'll like the Dan Slott one too. We'll see. But for so far, so good. Psylocke Ninja, number 3. I like it. A lot of good covers here too. Cover A by Derek Chu is solid. This one, In-Hyuk Lee giving us Elektra fighting Psylocke, also very, very good. I mean, you can't go wrong with this Torrin Clark either. But the AKA Aka is my favorite. It's just gorgeous. I like it with the flower in the background. And if you take the trade dress off of it too, that is the 1 in 50 incentive. I would be tempted, but I think I'm fine just getting the trade dress. But this is a really nice cover. So with the trade dress off, very well balanced. I like it. I like it a lot. But with that said, let's move on over to Rogue issue 3. So Nakayama giving us the cover A on this one. They're punching out the Constrictor. We've got other options here as well. We got a thick version of Rogue there down in the Savage Land. And then we've also got a 1 in 25 and a virgin version of that thick Rogue for the 1 in 50. So, yeah, grab whichever one you like. I'm probably just going to get the Nakayama cover, but I don't know. That B cover could be interesting. We'll see. More Psylocke this week, but this time it is the Dimensional Rivals version Psy. Peach Momoko running this one. So, yeah, pretty cool cover A. And then there is a cover B option. I think I'm just going to go with the A and just stick with what Peach is doing, but both are pretty good. I'm just going to end up getting more of this. So, from here, we got one more X book, The Uncanny X-Men, number 25, Legacy 725 as well. So, it's a Legacy edition, sort of a milestone, whatever. Where Monsters Dwell, Part 3. Let's see where this one goes. David Marquez giving us the cover A. We've got some other options on covers here as well. So here's our B cover, as well as a 1 in 25 edition. So, yeah, not a bad 1 in 25. I do like Wolverine in the old school, mustard and brown outfit. I like it. I decided, you know what? We should probably put Marvel Knights in their own little corner because they kind of run on their own too. I mean, they're usually the red bands and polybagged editions. So here we go. Marvel Knights getting his own little nook in the Marvel segment. So we have Punisher issue 4 from the World to Come. This Palmiotti Panosian team up. So I'm going to be getting this because I like the creators. I like this. So I'm going to pick this up. We've got the cover A, which actually was a wraparound, but I'm sorry I didn't get the back of it. Then we got a John Jiang on the B, and then a really cool 1 in 25 by Perillo. So, yeah, those are your options there. Now we'll go to the Ultimate Universe corner of the Marvel Universe. So what do we have on the Ultimate side of things before they wrap to repackage? We've got Ultimate Endgame number 3. And this Mark Brooks cover is really nice. And usually they do like a virgin version. They didn't do that this time, which I think is an opportunity missed because I get it. The whole Ultimate Universe has had this white border thing going on, but it takes away from this art because I'm telling you, this is a really nice. I like the look at the wild eyes on Magic there. I think this would have been a really nice cover without all the white. And, anyway, there is that. We've also got other options here as well. Look at that Silver Samurai. We got some swords. We got some Wolverine. We've got the Maker. Stephanie Hans giving us that one over there. And I think it's that Del Mundo, giving us that Maker cover. And then we do have incentives with a 1 in 25 by Noto. And then Stonehouse giving us these movie posters, which people have been going crazy for. Yes, it's a 1 in 100, so it's going to be very expensive. But I don't know. They've done well so far. But with that, 20th Century Studios next. This is the corner for our Planet of the Apes, Alien Predator type books. And this week we have another installment of the Predator with the Predator, was this Bloodshed #2? So far, so good. I'm in for it. I like a good Predator story. So, yeah, I'm down. Predator 2. I like the cover B here, too. And then I actually like the 1 in 25 a lot, but I don't know if I want to spend for a 1 in 25. But I do dig it. And then from here, we'll get into the Doom homage covers. I believe this is the end of this homage set for the month of March. So let's look at the last bit of covers we have here. I mean, there might be a slow trickle or one that was missed here or there that might come through in April. But for this week, Fantastic Four #9, homaging Fantastic Four #57. You see it? Not bad. Mike Allred giving us this one. Pretty cool. Inglorious X-Force giving us this classic Avengers 25 cover where we enter Doctor Doom. Cool. This Null, I wouldn't have matched this because they're all just symbiote heads. I wouldn't have matched it to this. But yeah, this is what it is. It's a supervillain team up #14. The next one, this Punisher book, I had to do some research because just looking online, they don't tell you what the cover is homage to. And if you don't see the back, you can't figure it out. You got to try to figure it out as best you can. I think Bleeding Cool had a different cover, and I'm like, that's not it. It's not matchy enough. There's something about the way the Punisher is posed. I had to find it, and I remembered it. It was Books of Doom. So I had to go and find it. There it is, because he's kind of coming out of the chair. He's coming out of the throne. So I had to go and dig that out, and I figured it out. So pat on my own back because it took some work. Just saying, I wasted probably like 15 minutes looking for this book. With that, it's a cool homage, as is this classic one. I don't know about Gambit facing off against Doom. That's kind of an odd pairing, but yeah, Iron Man Doom's cool. Anyway, that is it. There's the full list of them. I think that's all of them. I don't think we missed any, but yeah, if you like that set, we'll see what April has in store for us, because for now, we are getting April Fool's Day. So we're getting a couple of silly Deadpool variants, 2 this week, 2 next week, considering April Fool's Day is next week. So not a lot here, only 4 covers. But we have Iron Man #3, classic Granoff homage here. And then we have Punisher getting pantsed. And then we've got 2 more coming our way next week. Oh, I'm sorry, not even next week. It's the 8th. So 2 weeks. Wonder why we're skipping it. But whatever. That's when those books are coming out, so that's when we're getting the other 2. I didn't even realize it on the date until just now when I looked at it. But Stormbreakers. Now, you know, Stormbreakers is where Marvel goes with their younger artists and they kind of pick a theme for each month and they just do these Stormbreaker covers following a theme. This first one actually is from last month's theme with all the Black Panther covers and Ultimate Endgame 3. So, yeah, Black Panther cover. Boom. Little late to the party, but this was for last month's theme, because this month's theme are these monster covers, and this one is actually really good. This Jonas Scharf, I think it's really cool with the vampire Spidey and just the pose, the classic, you know, upside down pose. But yeah, that element to it, I think this is really well done. I know we've seen it before, but it's still well done. With that, we've got this edition too. We got a witch version of X-23 on Generation X-23 by Simone DeMeo. Not bad. I kind of like this Mummy Null. It's creepy. It fits. I like it. And then finally, this is another good one. This week is actually good for these Stormbreakers. I like this Medusa Rogue. It's really cool. I don't know. I don't like the Stormbreaker logo, but I do like this cover by Capuccio. So if I said his name right, sorry if I didn't. But regardless, that's it from Marvel this week. Before we get to the indie stuff, quick reminder. Also, if you need shipping supplies, you're going to go over to Gemini to get your Gemini mailers. You can also use my code RENA10 over there and get 10% off your entire order. So if you need mailers, they also have boxes and boards and bags and boards and long boxes and short boxes. But the Gemini mailers is one of the few things I think we all use to ship our comics these days. I mean, there's a few other options as well, but I think Gemini is one of the top things that people use. So if you need them, you got to spend that money. You hate doing it. Save money. Use my code RENA10 for 10% off. You help out the channel. You get your discount. nothing to lose. So with that, let's get on with the other publishers outside of Marvel and DC and start off with Image first and see what we got here. So first up, out of Image, we're going to go and redo a book that came out years ago. Let's give our redo edition of Capes #5 with all new dialogue and art. So whatever. I don't know. It's just like a weird thing to do to remix it now. I guess it's like a remix. I don't know what else to call it. It's not like it's, I don't know, retelling, an updated version. I don't know. I mean, Youngblood's doing it too, or with that version, but it's just an odd, I don't know. It just seems odd to me. But at the same time, I guess it's not a terrible idea because some of that stuff from the originals was a little cheesy, if you will. Anyway, there we go. Issue 5, cover A, B. Incentives. The 1 in 10 is really nice. And then you got a 1 in 25. And then we also have a 1 in 50, which is a black and white version of that cover A. So there you go. Death Fight Forever, giving us issue 2 of 5. So the next part of this, I'm going to be picking this one up. I like this weird little story and this fun little homage covers here because, yeah, I'm sure you can figure out the homage on that one. But the B cover is also pretty good. I'd get either, but I think I'm going to get the cover A because it's RoboCop. You got to get that RoboCop homage. And then the 1 in 25, also done by Jim Rugg. This is pretty fun because this is like a callback to those old school fighter games where you got to continue and the face is all beat up and it's just like continue. At least that's what it reminds me of. I think that's what they're going for. But yeah, I think it's kind of a cool idea. Feral also coming out this week with issue 21. And I think it's fun that the team is going with the silent issue since it's issue 21, like G.I. Joe 21. I think that is a very fun nod to the number. So, yeah, cool. Good on the team. Feral 21. I'm going to be getting the movie. I've been getting the movie poster homages the whole way. So I'm going to get this one as well. This one being Don't Breathe. But there's also a 1 in 10 Virgin edition of the cover A, as well as a special 1 in 25, which is a callback to G.I. Joe number 21. So there you go. The Snake Eyes silent issue. So that's cool. What else we got here? Final Boss. Final Boss issue 5. I think this is wrapping up the first story arc. Cover A. It's all right. I kind of dig this cover B, though. Something about this angle with the buildings and the silhouette. I like it. And then we have a third option here as well. And then we'll also take some of this color away and some of the trade dress and make these our incentives with the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50 for this title, which also has a 1 in 100, which is a foil Virgin edition, I think. So there you go. 1 in 100 too. Skinbreaker also coming out this week with issue 7. I feel like I'm an issue or so behind on this, but I still like it. So I'm going to keep up with this Kirkman story, David Finch, but I do feel like I might be an issue or so behind. But issue 7 coming out, there are the portrait covers on the Bs, and then we do have incentives with a pretty cool 1 in 10 by Tony Moore, 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50 here as well. So there's your options there. Void Rivals still going on here with the Quintessence War, part 4 of 6. Yeah, I'm still gonna be getting more Energon stuff. Cover A, you've got a B, you've got the Ben Oliver, you got a 1 in 25 option here too with Pythona, and then there is also a 1 in 50 here as well. So cool. Moving on, World Tree. Still riding this out. So World Tree, number 19. I do need, again, I think is another title. I keep saying I'm behind. You see how many books I'm buying. Like, I can't read them all. It's kind of tough to sit down and, especially when I got to make shows. I don't have time to read everything that I want to read. But yeah, I do got to catch up on World Tree here as well. But I do like this cover A. It's pretty solid. 1 in 10 is not bad. I like the hand. I like the angle with the reflection of the face or like, licking the bloody knife. It's a cool image. But the 1 in 25 is probably the best of the bunch. And I like that one quite a bit as well. So from here, Department of Truth still rolling on with issue 36. There's a 1 in 10. We also have a 1 in 25 option here as well. I Hate Fairyland, or the Not Suitable for work title version of it. You can get that one as well. Has these two covers, as well as a third option, which is a Return of the Jedi homage. So wanted to show you that as well. So issue 49, leading up to big issue 50. Can't believe I Hate Fairyland's run 50 issues. But there you go. Gunslinger Spawn. So Gunslinger, issue 52, two covers. I figured I'd put them next to each other. Color edition and a black and white. Meanwhile, Spawn the Dark Ages, issue 4 of 6, does have two different covers, and these are your two options. You got Liam Sharp, and I forget who did the B cover off the top of my head, but we'll keep it rolling as we try to get this under an hour to Phantom of the Opera. So Phantom of the Opera issue 2, you got a cover A, Lee Weeks giving you a B cover, which is also a black and white 1 in 25. There's also 1 in 10, 1 in 50, and a 1 in 75 for your Phantom of the Opera. Universal Monsters, still rolling strong. Ghost Machine over at Image also has a book this week, and it's probably it's probably my favorite. I think it is my favorite. I do like Rook Exodus quite a bit too, but Hyde Street is probably my favorite Ghost Machine book. So issue 11, Hyde Street, definitely looking forward to this. Here's the cover A. These are all good covers too, by the way. There's the cover B, and then Raza giving us a pretty awesome Mr. X-Ray. And there is also an Invincible cover too, but we'll look at that in a second as we now look at the Invincible covers. So Invincible month is continuing over at Image, and I think there's like 35 of them. And we're getting a whole another handful of team-up covers here, or crossover covers with capes. Kind of gimme, considering it's in the same corner of the Image universe. But here's Death Fight Forever, giving you that video game vibe here. So you got, there it is, wraparound as well. There's Department of Truth. That's kind of fun. Battle Beast showing up on Feral with a bunch of cats. So there you go. You got that one. We got Final Boss giving us these two going at it. I mean, you know how much Kirkham loves doing those bloody battle damage covers. So this was a layup for him. And then here's that Hyde Street that I mentioned with Mr. X-Ray. That's kind of fun. I kind of like it. And then we also have I Hate Fairyland giving us this with these two. Pretty messed up. Void Rivals here as well. And then finally, White Sky for the week. So White Sky issue 2 also getting in on the action, even though it's a brand new title. And that should be it. There is going to be I think Youngblood is still lingering out there, so we'll get to them when they come out. But it was supposed to have come out this week. It's supposed to have been done, but there's always delays. So I think there's like 4 or 5 more issues coming that will tie into this. I'll show it to you when they show up, but that was supposed to be done for March. And from here, we'll go check out Oni. And not a lot from these other independent publishers to wrap up the month. I'll just say that. So let's run through it and see if we can get this, like I said, under an hour. Oni is giving us Spirit of the Shadows, number 3. So, yeah, 2 cover options as well as 1 in 10. There is also a reprint of issue 1, but we'll get to that when we get to the later printings. But issue 3 is our only offering out of Oni this week, which will take us now over to Dark Horse, which is giving us a few things, not a ton, but a couple. We have a little bit over on the Curious Objects side of things. I thought about separating them out. Maybe I still will. Carmen Redclaw, issue 3 of 4, 2 covers. Also, in that corner of things, we've got Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man, issue 4, 2 covers. Not too bad. I kind of like the B, if I were to pick and choose. They were also giving us Mega Ghost. So Mega Ghost coming out here. It was with another publisher previously. It was like a few years ago. So now here at Dark Horse, Mega Ghost number 1, Star Wars High Republic Adventures also rolling out here. And we do have the 3rd issue of Tomb Raider Sacred Artifacts with 1 more issue to go. Now on over to Boom. And what does Boom have for us this week? I don't think it's a lot here either. I think we might have a couple of titles. We've got their new superhero universe, The Center Holds, with issue 2, coming to us from Larry Hama. Cover A, cover B. There is a 3rd cover option here, which is sort of a design cover. I wanted to show you that in the middle because our A and a B are also getting Virgin editions, one of which is the 1 in 10. So wanted to show you that. Also, Turtles, Power Rangers, or Power Rangers and Turtles. Yeah, a little bit more coming out this crossover from Boom and IDW, but here we go. This, I guess, is coming through Boom. So, two covers here. We've got a foil edition as well as a virgin edition of that one, which is also a 1 in 5 foil. That's still the virgin edition, but it's shiny foil for the 1 in 5. There's also a 1 in 10, which is a black and white of that cover A. And then we also have this other open order cover, which I put next to this other 1 in 5 option because they have two 1 in 5 options for some reason, apart from the 1 in 10, because there's also a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50, which is a virgin version of that cover there that I just showed you. And then we will take that 1 in 25 and put some foil on that, and that will be the 1 in 100. A lot of covers. Anyway, moving on. Minor Arcana, wrapping up this third story arc with issue 15. So A, B, C, D, which is actually a virgin version. And then we have incentives with a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 15 with these tarot cards, which, again, they're pretty cool. Speaking of IDW, let's check out IDW next and see what they have in store for us this week, because we have a few books as well. With The Last Starship, issue 6, two covers here, as well as a virgin 1 in 15, or that cover A. Shredder is also coming out with issue 6. Two covers there, with a third 1, 2, 3 open order before we get to the incentives, which are virgin versions of these two, 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25. Speaking of Turtles, we have the Saturday Morning Adventures, issue 35 of Turtles, with 1, 2, and a third cover here as well. I don't know why I didn't do my shift. It's supposed to do a shift. Anyway, worry about that later. As IDW also has IDW Dark, which is a separate little sub imprint of theirs where they have these darker tales. This one being the Sleepy Hollow, following up on the movie version, the Tim Burton movie version, the Sleepy Hollow. Issue 5 of this series coming out with two covers, as well as this 1 in 15 variant, which is kind of cool. Looks like one of those old school romance novels, if you will. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. That said, let's move on over to Dynamite next and see what Dynamite has in store for us with a couple of books, I believe. And Dynamite has a ton of covers. I'm only going to show you the art, the specific art, and not show you all variations of them. So here we go. Cover A of Supernatural number 6. And then we've got this B cover, as well as these two other options, including the photo version. And then, like I said, multiple variations of all said books from there. Thundercats, that's a really nice Perillo on the cover A. There are other options as well, but if you're getting this Thundercats book, you got to get that Perillo. I'm just saying. Jay Lee is not bad. The holding the Sword of Omens up, that's also a pretty cool image. But you tell me you're going to get this action figure cover over that Perillo, you're crazy. Great if you're going to get them all. I get it. If you're an OCD Thundercats collector, I understand. So get them all. But from there, let's get into the other indies coming out this week as we're coming near the end of the show. As far as other indies go, there are a bunch of publishers not giving us anything. Normally, I give you all of them that are not running titles this week, but that took too long. Like, I figured, what was the point? Nobody wants to sit through all those little logos. So there's a handful, just to give you an idea of a bunch of the publishers sitting this week out. But here are the ones that are giving us offerings. AMP is giving us issue 2 of The House of Lothar. Another one of these number 2s that apparently it's just cover price. Not hard to find. You can order it if you want it. Remember issue 1? That was one of those hot books, right? Let's keep it going. Exciting Comics, issue 1 of Exciting Comics 57, 1 of 5, I guess, following this Paladin storyline. And then Ninja High School 201. Archie giving us this pinup special with multiple covers here. You got the A, you've got Betty, as well as a Veronica, as well as foil editions of both of those covers. Then we'll go over to Fantagraphics. Butch, a hate comic by Peter Bagg. Cool. As well as Uncle Scrooge. 2 covers. And a 1 in 10 option there. Ignition. Ignition again. It's interesting new publisher. I'm going to say they have some interesting titles. Just Brutal being one of them. 2 covers here. Dennis Hopeless giving us this story. Ripcord is another one of those. It's Colin Bunn. You got the Wolf story here. Pretty cool. Fornez doing that cover A, and you got a B cover as well. IPI giving us the Sherlock Holmes, the special. And then Keen Spot giving us this Mark Spears Midnight Man. Midnight with a K in the middle of it. You get that. Anyway, Midnight Man with this one shot. Multiple covers here. Cover A, cover B, a couple more here, and a couple more here, including a 1 in 50 option, which looks like a naked man playing an arcade game. Just saying. You look at it real quick, I just see a dude with no clothes on at the arcade, and I'm like, ooh, that's inappropriate. Mad Cave next. Ferocious. And look at this, another issue 2 of a book that was crazy coming out of the gate, but I'm not seeing the same momentum on issue 2. Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. Cool cover. And then there is also a reprint coming of that issue 1, so you can catch up if you missed out on that expensive issue 1 that week it came out. Just like, is Ted okay? That was another book that was pricey coming out of the gate. Here's issue 2 with no fanfare. What happened? Liquidator issue 5, New Space Age number 4. Then we have here Eurotech. I believe this is finishing up this collection of romance stories. I got the Kickstarter. It was a trade paperback because I had a flops story inside. That's why I bought it. But here is this comic finally wrapping up. I think it's wrapping up with issue 4. But that's out of SHP. Up next, we have Strangers. Not Stranger Comics, but Strangers. This is the electric chair. So that's pretty cool. Gives you kind of a callback to a lot of the underground stuff from way back in the day. At least that's what it's giving me the vibes of. So, check it out if you're into that. Titan giving us Conan the Barbarian with a lot of covers. Here are 3 of them. Here are 3 more, including virgin versions and foil versions. All open order, not incentives. So pick whichever one you like best. And then Udon giving us this Street Fighter Masters Karen title. Cover A. Cover B is kind of cool, but really the 1 in 5, I really dig it. I don't know why, but I do. I really like that 1 in 5. So yeah. With that, moving on over to magazines next. So a couple of magazines coming out this week. Not a ton, but a few things. Archie giving us this collector's edition 85th anniversary thing. So you got this Archie edition here, over 100 pages. So big old magazine for you. We've also got this Octavia book. So if you want to pick this one up, you can. And then tomorrow, giving us back issue 166 and Cryptology number 8. And then Vampirus giving us their annual for 2027. Getting a little ahead of the game there, but there you go. Those are some magazines for the week. Interested in some manga? Well, we got some manga for you this week as well. Again, just trying this out, dipping a toe in the idea of it, trying to pick titles and books that I'm kind of aware of what they are, and maybe things that you might connect with or you might be aware of. Starting off first with this, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I remember this title because this is an old school one. This one's been around a while, and there is a pretty popular show on Netflix. I think it's an old show, but I think they're just currently running them on Netflix, and I think it's getting a lot of momentum, even though it's not technically new. But yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures over on Netflix, and then you got the manga, you got the anime. You can get both. Blue Lock has a 28th volume. This is some sort of soccer thing storyline. I don't know, but they're adapting this into a live action movie. So this could be interesting. So they announced some cast for their live action film that they're going to be making for this Blue Lock. It's like a soccer gauntlet of, I don't know, something. I want to say battle royale, but with soccer. That's kind of how I took it. Elden Ring. Yes, Elden Ring. This apparently is sort of a tongue-in-cheek parody storyline with a little bit of laughs, playing for laughs, of the video game Elden Ring, which you're probably aware of. So there you go with part 8 of this storyline. Old School Dragon Quest has a manga as well with part 3 here of the Mark of Edric. So Dragon Quest also being a classic Nintendo game that I loved playing way back in the day. They're doing HD remakes now for the Switch that I'm thinking about picking up, but I just need to have time to play them. And I don't know, figure out, put it aside, eventually get to them. But yeah, so there's that. And then finally, last one, Versus Volume 5. So Versus is a manga done by one who gave you One Punch Man. So popular creator. Figured it would draw some interest with a lot of folks. So Versus is out this week. So with that, let's get on over to Facsimiles and see our facsimile titles for the week. We've got a few, not a ton, but a few. We've got Dark Knight Triumphant. So Dark Knight Returns Book 2. Yeah, Frank Miller, classic. You've got the regular. We've got new art here with a jock cover. We've got a foil edition of the Miller as well as a brand new Miller cover. Yeah, it's there. Looks like he's covered in poo, but whatever. G.I. Joe. So here we go. G.I. Joe 24. Classic tale. You got Storm Shadow right there on the cover. Foil edition of that one as well as a brand new cover if you want to go that route. Invincible Returns, reprinting a facsimile of this pretty tough to find book. It gets pretty pricey, especially these incentives. Like this Darwin Cook, 1 in 10, very, very pricey. One sold this week for a ton of money. And this is actually something I had in hand to talk about. And then there's another Darwin Cook book because I was going to do some Darwin Cook stuff on variant show that I'm going to do later in the week. I'm still going to do it because I had it planned. It's all set up to go. It's just funny that these books are selling just before I was ready to run them on my show. But so now I'm going to have to update it to be not available, but sold. So it is what it is. So there you go. You can get the Darwin Cook for cover, though, if you want to get the facsimile for $4.99. We've also got a Larson, and then we've got a foil edition over here as well. And then there's also a blank. So if you want to get a blank, it's right down below me. Silver Surfer #1, also facsimile. So classic Silver Surfer. I might have to pick this one up because my copy of this book actually has a detached page inside. So yeah, I don't want to open it up and read it because I'm afraid more will come out. So I'll just read this one. I would like to get the new cover, but I'm not going to pay 1 in 25 prices for it. And I'm also not going to get a shiny foil one because I don't need a foil, but I'll probably get a Silver Surfer 1 facsimile, like I said, for that reason. Even though I've read it before, it's just in case I want to go back and flip through it. I'll probably grab one. Anyway, later prints. We have a few, not a ton, thankfully. Yeah, I know we already ran over an hour, but we're almost there. We're almost to the end. Dork, issue 2. Coming up. Is this really a third print on this one? Jesus. Man, running through this stuff fast. We also have Spirit of the Shadows. What the heck? I think that was a second print. Anyway, Spirit of the Shadows also getting a third printing here with #1. You saw the issue 3 is coming out this week, so you can play a little bit of catch up if you need to. And as I mentioned, Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. If you missed out the first issue, here's your second print option to get along with issue 2. Cyclops #1 giving us a second print as well as a second print 1 in 25. I really dig that one. I like the original cover, and in virgin form it is still pretty cool. Moon Knight, so Mark Spector Moon Knight #1, cool, second print there as well as a second print 1 in 25. And then finally Ultimate Endgame #2, second print and a second print 1 in 25. And then from here, Cheesecake covers, of which we only got one title. And as you might guess, it is Vampirella. So Vampy, issue 12, pretty awesome Perillo cover here. Yeah, I mean, the decapitated head's a little creepy, but other than that, it's a beautiful image. We've also got these other covers here. You got Derek Chu. We've got a Linsner, because, you know, can't get by without a Linsner. We also got a cosplay, and Selena giving us a 1 in 10, which is also really nice. I dig it. It's almost photo quality, like sepia toned, like out of focus photo quality, but it is gorgeous art. And with that, it is one of my favorites, but not my favorite of the week, because that's what we got left, the best of the week. So these are my favorite covers of the week, in my opinion. Now, you can agree, disagree with me. Tell me what your favorite covers this week are in the comments down below. But for me, my favorite incentive first was that World Tree book that I pointed out. That 1 in 25 by Leandro Fernandez. I just dig it. I like the framing of it, the lighting, the coloring, the whole thing. It just all works. Trade dress with the image. Well balanced. I like it. And then this week, I decided to add this little runner-up feature because this was a close race for me for number one, but something about this Sanford Green I really liked on this Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon. It's got that sort of Ninja Scroll anime sort of like a energy to it that I thought was really cool, and I like it. So I'm probably gonna go and pick this up. So, but it is my runner-up because that Psylocke cover was just gorgeous. So that is my favorite of the week. Trade dress is fine. A Virgin would have been nice too, but I'm fine just paying for the trade dress. It is an awesome cover and my favorite of the week. So with that, that is all I have for you. That is it for this week. Sorry, I'm still trying to get this under an hour, but I keep talking a little bit too long. I'll work on it, see if I can tighten it up a little bit and not get sidetracked and go down these wandering, meandering paths of blabber. But with that, that's all we got for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found this rundown helpful. Hopefully you got you ready for your Wednesday pickups. And hopefully you're enjoying everything here on the channel. Please let me know again what you think down below. And I'll see you all later with some more content. All right?